It's Food City Friday on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Chef Julie's in the kitchen, and we're talking cookies today.
We're talking cookies.
And, you know, it's Christmas. It's Christmas time. You got to have cookies.
You got to have cookies. And I wanted to share my favorite Christmas cookie with everybody. You know, each year at our house, we try one new thing we haven't tried before. And some folks might want to try this, add it to the repertoire. This is called a kolachki, and I'm going to let you try one.
Kolachki.
Yep. It's kind of like, it tastes like a Danish.
Here, let me hold them, and you talk about it.
Yep. It tastes like a Danish, just a Polish cookie. It actually has sour cream and yeast in it, believe it or not. So you don't usually find yeast in a cookie, but it works really well. And it tastes like a mini Danish, really.
It does. It really does. It's really good with the jam in the middle.
With the jam, right. So I'm going to actually add some yeast to some sour cream.
Okay.
And stir that together. And it just has to sit and get kind of creamy.
You don't have to put any warm water or anything in here to activate it?
If you do need to have your sour cream at room temperature.
Okay, very good.
That's important. And this kind of yeast is like an instant active. If you're not going to be using yeast very often at your house, buy it in the little packets. But for people like me, we get them in 1-pound bags. Keep it in the freezer or the refrigerator. It is, but you know, you go through it and it's so much cheaper that way.
You sure you're not making beer at home?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Making bread and cookies. All right. And then you just take a beaten egg and add that into the sour cream little mixture there.
Right.
And kind of let that sit. And we'll stir that up here. It looks a little funny when you first stir it up.
It does look a little...
It looks a little weird.
It looks almost like scrambled eggs to it.
It kind of does. It kind of does have a funny look to it.
Now, is this a recipe that you came up with, or you tweak it yourself?
I stole it.
You stole it.
You know, if you're going to steal, you steal from the top. That's my philosophy. Years ago, and this must have been a decade ago, it was Martha Stewart Living Show a long time ago.
Right.
And that's where I saw the recipe, and I've loved it ever. You can keep stirring.
Okay, I'll do it.
What we'll do next is shred some butter, and this takes 2 sticks of butter.
You're shredding butter.
Shredding butter. Now, this is a way to cut in butter, and I did want to show folks this because I use this for biscuits and other things. You take cold butter, it must be cold, and you shred it off, and you see how it comes off.
And it looks like mozzarella cheese.
And then you stop, and you just kind of toss it in the flour like that, and keep going. And it is a very quick way to work a fat into a flour.
I've never seen that before.
It is a wonderful technique. It's very simple. Over here, I actually have one where I've worked in all the butter. Is all in. And you use a pastry blender to kind of finish that project. I'm going to let you pour this into here.
I will do it.
And that's the next step, is just to pour that in.
Make sure you get all of it, because that's really good stuff.
That's good stuff, and we want all that yeast in there for sure. And then we'll just kind of start stirring it together. Now, it makes a bit of a mess, I'll be honest, and you kind of have to get your hands in there and kind of go for it. But you just keep working it together, and it will come together to be a really nice dough. If you want to hand that little cookie tray, I have already, earlier this morning, I made some and rolled them out. And used to set that down right there. And once you get to this step, and you do want to cut them out like with about a 2 1/4 inch little cutter, real simple. You need to let them sit for about 15 minutes so they start to rise. And then you just take your big old thumb and make an indentation in each one, or you might find something around the house. I had these little paper cup things. And just make a little indentation like that.
To hold the jam.
To hold the jam. And then you pick your favorite flavor.
They want to see that.
They want to see that. Well, there you go. You just make a little indentation.
They look almost like giant Ritz crackers.
Yeah, they do. Yep. And you just make a little indentation in each one. And you can see how they've kind of puffed up just a little bit. And then you want to put some jam in there. You don't want to put too much. If you overfill it, because I love jam, and sometimes I put too much, it'll just boil over. So actually less than that.
Less than that.
Less than that.
I got happy with the jam.
I didn't tell you what to do. That's not that's better, or even a little bit less.
You got happy with the jam.
Yep. And when they come out of the oven, you let them cool, and you make this wonderful vanilla glaze. Oh, this is so good. And just drizzle that on top. And you've got an amazing
Now, how long
cookie.
are they in the oven? I'm sorry.
They're in the oven about 12-15 minutes around in there is
what
all.
Temperature?
I think it's 400. I have the recipe on bakingwithjulie.com. Look for my favorite cookie under Julie's Crumbs, and the whole recipe's there.
And we were talking earlier, you may have some cooking classes coming up.
I do have some cooking classes coming up. That'll be coming up February 11th. My birthday is the first of one of my cake classes.
Where's that going to be?
Fun. It's going to be at ETSU, and we can't sign up just yet. It's still still coming, but there'll be 2 cake classes. Will be just on cake. Let them eat cake 1 and 2. And I'll also have a weekend where I just do yeast breads. We'll have a Friday, Saturday where we'll just do an intensive on yeast breads, and that's going to be really exciting.
And all of that can be found at bakingwithjulie.com.
Yes.
It's a great, I mean, you've got so many ideas on there. It's almost like Pinterest for bakers.
Just about.
Just about. All right, it's Chef Julie. We're going to be back in just a little bit, and we're going to be talking about some gifts for those people that are bakers in your life, or if you get a gift that you really don't want, something you can get for yourself.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be back in just a few moments.
The preceding portion of Daytime was sponsored by